Okay, I'm going to throw a plate today. I'm going to start with the basic centering opening skills, but then when we're centering skills, but then the opening is different. So I'll go ahead and get this centered. And again, I'm putting my hands like this together. I can cone. That's another thing that is good. That's when you push your palms together and push it down. Okay, so once we got it centered, doing a plate's a little bit different. I'm going to take my sponge in my hand. I'm going to lay that guy at a 45-degree angle. Not just like that, not like that. At a 45, I'm going to grab my thumb and I'm going to push with this part of my hand into the clay. Okay, now as I push that down, it's important to notice that I'm not mushrooming out. If I had this thing starting to extend outward, that'd be bad. You want to keep that upright. In fact, you can give it a little push like this. Okay, so we're going to push this down like so, and then we're going to pull to 6 o'clock nice and straight. Okay, I'm going to start here again, roll my knuckle forward, and I'm going to pull straight to me. One of the things you want to be careful of is when you pull straight to you, beginners have a tendency to push down. So you have a domed plate. You don't want a domed plate. You want something nice and level. Once again, I'm going to do one more little pull outward. Okay. Now I also tend to take my thumb and I will push that up a little bit so I got a little bit of a rim. Okay, that's when you can take a rubber rib or a metal rib and you're going to start here in the middle and you're going to roll that to the outside and just give that a good compressing. It's really important that you compress plates, and especially big platters. You want to compress those guys. Okay. So once I get to that point, I'm not quite done yet. It looks sort of plate-like, but now I got to work on the flange. If you look down here on the side, how straight up and down that is, what we're going to do is I'm going to drive my thumb underneath. And that clay bunches up, and then I'm going to give it a little squeeze. And now I've got a little bit of a flange there. I'm going to do it again by squeezing in and pulling straight to me. Now there are different types of plates. This one right now, that would constitute kind of a deep dish plate. It's good for pasta, that kind of thing, but I could also take it with 2 fingers and I could lay it down. So I'm dropping my hand like a paper cutter, like just this motion here. Okay? So you can do that, and then you can come in and compress this. Okay? And there's a plate with a fairly long flange. Okay? Or I could, let's go backwards for a moment. Okay, and let's go back to a plate where I have more of a little lip on it. Okay, you can kind of push that down, and if you want just a tiny little lip on it, okay, you're going to kind of squeeze and just kind of pull a little rim on it like that. So it's got a nice little rounded rim to it. You can also do a flat or a split rim, pushing this down. Now I'm going to take my fingers, I'm going to push down right in the middle. This is getting fancy now. Okay, so there's another type of plate. I mean, you can play with this idea quite a bit. One last thing I'll show you that's kind of a fun little trick with doing a plate like that with a little split rim is I'm going to pull that back a little bit, clean that up. Okay, I'm just compressing. Then you can come in and go. And do something like that. Come in there and do all the rest of them. Now you've got something like that. You can turn that on really high speed, that lays it back out a little bit for you. So, I mean, that's a plate as well, but that's starting to get a little fancy. Sometimes people like to put a little swirl on the bottom. Okay. again, these are all, once you get the basics down, you can start having fun with designing different plates. Later we'll flip this over and we'll trim a foot on there.